it's night, but I'm not sure what time is it in your country. And for me, it's a day, and it's about to be night. Yes. Good day, everybody. So first, we are going to review what we have learned in the previous lesson. Then, of course, we will try to understand the logic. I will try to solve a lot of questions today, but the important thing is understanding logic. If you can start creating logic, the rest will be very easy. Just think it like a human. Yes, we are human, but try to understand how you solve a question. I will try to answer my own question with previous days calls. We have tried to solve a lot of questions. The first one was about a triangle. All the sides should be same. If you were, let's say, human, if that was the question, it's very easy to solve for a human. Yes, I know, but let's try to think of. Let's say we are a child and we do not know how to solve it, and we are trying to create a logic, and we will solve it ourselves. If we are looking, we are looking for a condition like all the sides, lengths should be same. Of course, first we need to take the lengths. So when we take them, we will compare them, right? We will check if all of them are same. If they are same, we will say, yes, it is. If it is not, no, it is not. So in this part, in the first part, we have taken the lengths of all the sides of the triangular. Then, if all the sides are same, if they have same lengths, it means it is equilateral. Else, if it is not, we will say it is not equilateral. Still, it might be triangle, but it does not have this feature. In this one, it is all about chart tables, so I'm not going to solve it. Okay, this is very similar. We are going to get a length from user, and if the length is higher than 50, we will do something. Just like we do in our early education. If it is higher than 50, we will say something. If it is not, we will do something else. Well, of course, these questions are very easy. Let's go a little hard one to understand the logic. Oh, we have a question here about we haven't solved it. Oh, we can. Don't worry about it. This is a good question, retirement. I'd say it's actually an easy one, but creating logic is important here. If you cannot create the logic, you will have a hard time when you try to code it. Retirement. The retirement age is different for female and males. So when you take a data, like, of course, we will need age and gender, we need to know to decide if the person can retire. After taking them, with our brain, we will compare the age. First, we need to check the gender, right? If the person is a male, we will say, oh, age should be higher than 65 for him to retire. Just like that. But we can compare them all together. If gender is female, when it is female, age should be higher than 60. If those conditions are true, you will say, oh, yes, you can retire. If it is false, it means the situation is a little different. Gender may be different, or age may be smaller than 60. And again, we will check if the gender is female and age is smaller than 60, it means this person cannot retire. Not yet, at least. And you can set another condition. If age, you can say age should be higher than 15. If you delete it, it does not change anything. Just I wanted to check somebody higher than 15 years old should check the retirement. You can delete it. It's not necessary, but we added another condition for fun. And yes, if those conditions are met, it means the person is younger than retirement age, so she has to work for a few more years, and we have calculated that year dynamically. Whatever user enters for the age value, it will automatically calculate the remaining time for the retirement. 60 minus age. If she is 55 years old, she has to work for 5 more years. Still, if we couldn't find the correct one, if when it finds the code, if one of them is correct, Java won't execute the next other codes, because if it is correct, we are going if that's correct, or if it is not correct, else if that's correct. If it is not correct, check this. Still, if it is not correct, please check other conditions. And still, if none of them are correct, do that. Okay. We have another one. We have tried to solve a question about index, body mass index. Sometimes it makes people happy, and sometimes it made people unhappy. I'm in the middle. I'm overweight, but not obese, or I'm not normal. Okay, I can see that. At least I'm not thin. It is okay for me. I feel healthy. When I entered my numbers, age and all the numbers required to calculate the body mass index, it says I'm overweight. How do we do that? First, when we're calculating this with our pencil and paper, first we need to know kilogram and centimeter. It can be anybody's numbers, of course. Then, by using this formula, we need to calculate the body mass index. First, we need to take those numbers from user, that means. And we did that here. And we need to calculate the formula. And it is here. I did it here. Just like I will do with my pencil. I'm just trying to calculate them. Then, as you can see, it's very clear to understand, if the body mass index is greater than 30. If it is greater than 30, I will calculate it and check the value. If it is higher than 30, of course, I will say obese. The person is obese. If it is higher than 25, if it is not higher than 30, it means it has to be lower than 30, right? So when I write it like this, it means it is lower than 30, but still higher than 55. If it is a number between them, you will write this overweight. And it will continue like this. If it is not correct, try that. If it is not correct, try that. And if none of them are correct, this means the person is very thin. In this kind of situations, if there are more than one thing to check, like this last question, we have, let's try to understand the question. number of products. If you watch the previous lesson, you should be familiar with those values. Number of products, list price, the price of the product for one of them, and we should check if the customer has a customer card. We have three different variables, and according to these variables, the discount amount is changing. If the customer has the card, and if he has bought more than 10 items, he has a great discount. If the customer does not have the card, 15% discount, as you can see. So here, everything is decided according to the card. If he has it, if the user has the card, do something. Like we have done here, if customer has it, and if the number of products is higher than 10, do something. We have made 50% discount here. I can explain how I calculated this part too. Don't worry, if you want, I can. Okay. Yes, and the other for the other conditions, we tried to calculate different things. Let's go back to the slide, and let's try to understand. Yes, we have also solved this question. If you want, we can solve it again. But I think we have the code here, so we do not need to solve this question. At least I think so. I will pass this part. Yes, and we were trying to solve these questions. Yes, I think we have solved all of them. Oh, this is a good question. I did not see it yesterday. This is an interview question. If you have time at the end, please remind me to solve this question, and I would love to solve it. If I remember, I will solve it, of course, but most of the time I cannot remember that kind of things. This is the important topic, and if I remember correctly, this is the last step of the if-else statements. You know, nested if. From the name, you can understand we will have an if, and the condition here. If the age is higher than 50, this is the condition, let's say. But after checking this first one, if it is higher than 50, you want to check something else. If enough money, if you have enough money, do something else. When you write a code here, first it will check this condition. If it is correct, if it is true, it will check another one. This is called nested if, because as you can see, this inner if is nested inside of the outer if statement. For example, and this is a good example, and we will try to solve this one. Retirement, of course, and according to female, according to gender and age, retirement age will change, and your code should be calculated or created according to those values. Yes, we can do it by using a lot of if, else, if statements, and as you can see, this is created according to the gender. First, this one is checking the gender. If gender is female, we need to check something else, right? This is the inner if. We have to create another if statement here. It will check the age. If the gender is not female, if it is, and if it is not female, and if it is a male, we have to check something else. This is another inner if, nested if statement. If gender is not female or male, else means to that, invalid information. As you can see, we haven't checked anything, we haven't written any code according about the age, but still this code will check the gender. And according to the gender, we will write different code. Okay, let me try to explain it with something else. You know, in the retirement, first I will create a system and it will check the gender. After checking the gender, this will create most of the time two different ways. And in each way, my code can go two different ways. In each code, after checking the gender, I want to check the age. If it is a female, if the person is a female, I will check age according to that gender. If it is a male, I will check age. I cannot write according to that gender. This is called nested if. We have solved this question. Yes, I know. And let's check that question. Retirement, where are retirement? No, here. We have checked them together. Instead of using nested if, I did check them together. Yes, it's also a way to solve the question. But if you use nested if statements, it will be faster. Because here, I need to check two things at the same time. When I use nested ifs, you will see, you will only check, in the first step, you will check only the gender. Then if it is correct, if it is the one we are looking for, we will check age. If something happens here, if it is not correct, we do not need to check the age. So let's try to solve our first question belongs to today. For that, first I need to create today's package. Of course, I should create it from here. Okay, new package. Day 07 nested if questions. CO1 nested if questions. Yes, at first it may seem hard to understand, but don't worry. If you solve the questions yourself, you will get used to it, and it will become it will be very easy for you. But you have to solve the questions yourself. Even though you cannot understand them, just write them once. This will help you greatly to understand the question and the solution, of course. I will take the question here from the previous. Here it is, I think. Let me take it. This time, instead of using this kind of AND operator, I will use nested ifs. Okay, we have created the main method and we are ready. We have two things. We can solve same question according to different links. First, I can select the age, or I can select the gender. We have two different variables to control. Age and gender. Which one is more important? I can choose both of them, but this time I prefer creating the code first, checking the gender. I will check gender. Then if it is female, I will check the age. First gender, then age. First gender, then we will check the age. So let's do that. If, we haven't taken gender and age from user. I can directly write a code, but I prefer taking them from user. So to take data from user, you have to create scanner object. If I can find the dot, we have created the scanner object. Just creating it once will be enough for everything. And after that, we can use the scan object to take data from user. And I will take the gender. Char, gender. By using scan object, I have created next dot char at 0. This will take first character of whatever user enters. Okay, we have gender, but we have forgotten to inform user. User won't receive any data. We are expecting something from user, but user does not know what it is. So let's give an information. Please enter your gender. And then the age, right? We need age. Let's inform user. Please enter your age. And let's start in an integer data type, scan.nextInt. Now we have gender and age. I can do whatever I want with them. The logic was first we need to check the gender, then the age. If gender equals female, if it is female, I will do something. I will write a code. Check age. Here we will check age. If it is not F, I will write else if. If it is not F, I will check if it is a male. Here I will again check age. If the gender is female, age should be higher than 16. If the person is a male, we will check the age. Age should be higher than 65. Else, if it is not any of them, else invalid information. So I think we are ready to check the age. For the female, age should be higher than 16. As I told you, age should be higher than 16. This is the if statement. In this place, between this body, between these curly brackets, I will check the age. If, as you can see, the place of it is a little right side of the first if. It means this is an inner if statement. If this one is true, we will check it. If it is not true, this code won't be executed. If the age is higher or equal to 65. If it is like this, we will say, so you can retire. This is the inner if, inner nested if. Nested or inner if. Here I will do the same thing, but oh, sorry, for females, it is 60. For male, if age is higher or equal to 65, oh, not that much. If so you can retire. Yes, we have completed the retirements, but if it is not higher than 60, I should do something else. Else if the age is lower than 60, it means she has to work a few more years. So you have to work for more years. What I have done here, I've created a place here to enter a number. But you know, you have to work for 24 more years. It's not the code I want. I want to dynamically calculate it. Retirement age is 60, and if I write 60 minus age, it will give me the age I want. But you should write it between normal brackets so it will work. System will come here and first it will calculate the age, remaining age, then it will print it. Okay, you can write something else here if you want, but don't worry, this should work. I will add, I will do the same thing for male character. Else if age is lower than 65, so I will copy this one. It is the same thing, I just need to change the age. Oh. This part will be 65. As you can see, it should work. Here you should understand the nested if statements. These are nested if statements because system will check the gender, then if it is true, these codes will be executed. Otherwise, if the first statement condition is false, it will directly jump to the next one. This is better coding than we have solid here. You do not need to check all the conditions at the same time. But you can, it is not wrong, but I believe this is better. Now let's try it. We should always test our code. Otherwise, we may, you will be surprised what kind of mistakes a person can do. Female, age is 55. It says 5 more years. You know, we have used a char for the gender, but I have entered a long data. It has more than 1 letters, as you can see. But char data can store only 1. But because of this char at 0, it will take only the first letter, and it is F. It will work. I can update this code if I want, but before that, do you have any question? You can write to the YouTube channel or Slack or Zoom channel. I'm trying to follow all those channels. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask them. Let me write any questions. In YouTube, the live channel is following the lesson, I think after 10 or 15 seconds. So you will ask my questions after 15 seconds. If I cannot answer your questions for 15 seconds, please don't be angry because I haven't seen them yet, or you haven't seen, you haven't heard my question. Whatever. I couldn't be able to see any questions, so I will improve my code. You know, the gender is working with capitals, but when somebody tries to say gender, they may use a lowercase too. As long as gender is F, capital F, or lowercase f, this code should be executed, right? I'm saying the condition can be lowercase or capital. I will write what I'm saying here. If the gender is capital F, or just I told you, gender equals to lowercase f. As I told you, this will follow your logic. If it is capital or lowercase, this code will be executed. It is same for this one too. If it's a capital or a lowercase, this code will be executed. This one is better than the previous one. A little upgraded version. We improved the code. Just a little, of course, don't worry about it. Now I will try to solve the same question, but you know, we have checked here in this question. First, we have checked the gender. Now, first, I will check age. Let's copy the question and create another class, CO2 nested if questions. Instead of gender, this time I will check age and the gender. Same question, same logic, but order will be a little different. You will understand the logic is same actually, but what I'm trying to explain is first you need to decide what to check first. It's important. If we had a main method, everything would be easier. Yes. Now if if age is higher than, oh, we don't have an age. Okay, let's take it from user. Sorry. Scanner, scan, new scanner, system.in. So please enter your age. Integer age equals to scan dot next int. Where next int? I cannot see here. Is that next int? Okay. I have the age. So please enter your gender. Char gender equals to scan next char at 0. I did it. You can copy paste them from the previous question. I did the same thing. There's no difference between them. So we have the required data. Yes, for this question, first I will check the age. Okay. If age, we have two conditions for the age, right? It should be higher than 60 or higher than 65, lower than 65, higher than 65. Age is not a good starting point here, and we will try to cover it we have to check a lot of things for 60. But let's try to do it. It will be great experience for us to see what's important. If the age is higher than 60, after that, I need to check the gender, right? If I say inner if statement, now I have to check gender. If the gender equals to F. Or you can, of course, write or if it is equals to lowercase f. Okay, if age is higher than 60 and if the gender is female, this means you can retire. Female person can retire after 60 years of working or age, sorry. 60 years is enough to be retired, to retire. So you can retire. If the person is a male, else if gender equals to male or gender equals to male, we will say you need to work harder for 5 more years. So, but here, it is not acceptable because first we need to check if the age is 65. Because whatever I write here, if age is 63, it will come here. Okay, it is okay. It will execute this code. If it is a male, if it is a female, it will say you can retire. For the male, the person cannot retire, as you can say. He has to work for 2 more years. But if user enters 68, for example, it will come here. If the person is female, it will retire. If the person is male, he can. But as you can see, according to this age, the system will change. So first we need to check the 65. And yes, now when I make it like this, it is same. If it is higher than 65, male can also retire. You can retire. Then, and right now, I should check another age. If it is not higher than 65, else if, the second changing point is 60. Age is higher than 60. I need to create if statements here now. Now I will copy them and let's write them. If the gender equals to male or male, what's your problem? Oh. It doesn't like it. And I don't understand the problem here. Am I missing something? Oh, there's this is the missing part. No. Oh, there's a problem with the Let me check for a second. Yes, it's correct. It goes that way, and it should work. Okay, there should be another one here, I think. Really sorry, let me delete it. If you cannot find it, delete it and write it one more time. Else if, and now I should write if the gender is female or gender is lowercase, I will write the code here. Sought, I'm sorry. Here I need to check the age. Age is higher than 60. And now as an inner if statement, I need to check. I'm really sorry, I will mix things up. I will try to cover everything. Don't worry. If now I need to check the gender. After writing it, I will try to explain. Gender equals to lowercase f. I will write so you can retire. Let me explain one more time here. I'm trying first. I said to you, this time we will check the age, then we will check the gender. So there are three critical points when we are talking about the age. If the age is higher than 65, it means female character and male character can retire. It's the same for everybody. Everybody can retire. But if the age is higher than 60, things are different for both of them. If age is higher than 60, lower than 65 and higher than 60, it means female can retire, but male cannot. So according to that age, I will write different things. But if the age is lower than 60, both of them cannot retire. In coding, when you can see this logic, easily you can create it. First, I have completed the first step here. If the age higher than 65, both of them can retire, male and female and male, as you can see. For this one, I was trying to write it here and things got a little out of control, but we took it back. If the age higher than 60, female can retire, and for the male, I will write cannot. Else if the gender is equals to male or where's the word? Gender equals to male, this one won't be able to retire. So you need to work for blah blah years, more years. Now dynamically I should calculate the remaining time. 65 minus age. If it was higher than 65, it will be calculated here. The system won't execute this code. When code comes here, as you can see, it means it is lower than 65 and higher than 60. If it is like this, it will calculate age according to this code. But if the age is lower than 60, I will write here Else, if none of them are correct, it means the age is lower than 60. I will write, uh, I do not need to check the gender because for the both of them, it is same. So I will write this. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to write. I have to check the gender because if the person is a female, the remaining year will change. I'm really sorry. Let's check it now. Okay, the gender. If again, I will write genders equals to if or gender equals to lowercase f. So I will change this part. It will be 60 for female. Else, if the gender is male, or of course not that way, or gender equals to male, and we will write south unit form. Okay, it should work right now. I cannot see any error message. As I told you before, if you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask them. Now let me run it right now. Solving a question becomes easier when you can decide what you should do. As you can see, first question was easier to understand and solve when we took the gender as a first one. But here, when we take the age, we have to check three different things. This was a good example about creating logic. According to logic you create, code can be longer or shorter. I will write it. I will test it. Then we will have our break time. Critical point, the age is 63 and I am a female. Yes, it is working, but same thing for a male should give me remaining time. 63, male, minute to work, 2 more years. It's working. Okay, then, if you have any question, please ask me now or after 10 minutes. You can, of course. You can use Zoom channel, Slack channel, or YouTube channel, any chat channel. As long as it is one of them, I will be able to answer them. I'm checking the channels. Right now, I cannot see any movement there. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Let's save our break time. Then we can continue after 10 minutes. Hello again. It was a close call. Okay. Let me check for the questions. I hope I can see a few questions. No, I cannot. Okay. If I check Zoom channel, nothing from the Slack. And nothing. Okay. Thank you for no questions. No question. Let's continue. Yes, I hope we could be able to understand this nested questions. And yes, let's try to solve this one. We had this question before, and we have solved it, but right now I will try to solve it by using if-else statement. Don't worry, as I told you before, I will try to solve a lot of questions, so we will be able to understand it perfectly fine. Okay, let's go back to coding, and I will copy the question from the previous questions. Here it is. No, it's not. No. 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 This is the one. Sorry. And we will try to solve this question now. CO3 nested if questions. Main method and the question. Let's check the question we have solved before. As you can see, I have used AND operator. I'm sorry. Let's first understand the question. I memorized the question, so I thought that you have also memorized the question. But for the ones who did not, and it's perfectly normal, let's check the question. We will get a number of products and list price and the customer card information from user. If he has customer card and if the user buys more than 10 items, we will do 20% off. Otherwise, still, if the customer does not have the card, 15%. Oh, sorry. If the customer has it, but if the customer does not buy more than 10 items, it is 15% off. If the customer does not have the card and the other things, as you can see, we will do 15 or 10% off. No matter what, user will get a little discount. As you can see here, the first condition is customer card. If he has it, this is the first condition. In the condition is if he buys more than 10 items, 20. If he buys less than 10, 15. Here, we are changing the first condition. If the customer does not have the card, but buys more than 10 products, 15. If it is less than 10 products, 10%. And we have solved it here by using AND operators, but this time I will try to solve it by using nested if-else statements. Okay. First, we need to get the information from user, of course. Integer, of course, we are going to take them from the user, so we will need scanner object, new scanner system.in. Let's inform user what we expect him to enter. Please enter number of products you purchase. And integer the number of products. It will be taken from users, so I'm not going to explain how to do that. And it will be saved here. The number of products will be stored here. Then I need a list price. So, and we will take it from user. Please enter the list price of the product. It will be another integer list price. It will be taken from user. Okay. And now we will ask user if he has the customer card. So please enter 1 if you have customer card. If you don't have, please press 0. This is an integer card info scan dot next name. If the user enters 1, it means he has the card. If it is 0, it means customer does not have the card. Okay, now we have everything we need. We can start writing the code. I want to tell you, first you need to select one of them. I want to start with the card. I think it's the best option here. First condition should be about customer card. First, we will check if customer has customer card. If let's start with completing all the outer if statements. I'm not going to write any inner if statement. First, I will check everything and I will create the code according to the card. Let's think there is only card. If customer has the card, we will do something. If customer does not have the card, we will do something else. This is the statement. If, as you can see, card information is stored in card info. I will do that. If card info equals to 1, I will do something. If it is not, else if it is not 1, but if it equals to 0, I will do something else. If it is not 1 or 0, it means user entered invalid data. So invalid data. User should enter 1 or 0. If it is another number like 9, it means nothing for the code. Because of that, it will give a report invalid data. This is the required code to check the card info. Then I need to check something else, right? I need to decide the second thing. What is the second? I can check it according to I should check it according to number of products, right? If number of products is higher than 10, we will do something. If it is lower than 10, we will do something else. Then we should check number of products. Here, if a customer has the card, I'm starting with another if statement. This is the inner nested statement. Number of products higher than 10. If it is higher than 10, let's check the question. If the customer has the card, yes, the customer has the card and buys more than 10 items. Yes, this is the situation we are looking for. It means 20% off. If you use the symbols, it means nothing, as you remember. It's a comment. It won't affect the code. So right now I should calculate the total price according to the data user entered. Then I should do 20% off. That's easy, right? Let's calculate the total price. To calculate the total price, I can directly calculate it, or I can create another variable here, integer price, total price. And at first it will be equal to 0. I have created it outside of the if statement. We haven't learned it. I think, I'm not sure. But if you want to use a data in different situations, you have to create it outside of the if-else statements, loops, and methods. But don't worry for now. We are going to cover that topic too. I have created it here. The total price right now 0, but I should calculate it here. Total price equals to, how do I calculate total price? The list, I should multiply list price by number of product. If I do the calculation, list price time number of products, it will give me the total price. Let's say user buying a cable and one of them is $10 and he is buying 20 of them. Total price will be 200 USD, of course. List price is 10, number of products is 20. When I do the multiplication, the total price 200 USD. But and I need to add 20% discount. How do I do that? If I do the multiplication, 80, if I divide 80 by 100 and if I do the multiplication, it will give me 160 USD. And I did the discount by this number. Okay, I hope I could be able to explain. Let's do that. This is the total price, and I need to discount. I will write, and it's okay. But it's a problematic one because total price should be double. It should contain decimal units. Why are you angry? Okay, don't worry. It's saying it's advising something. It is not necessary. It will work without any problem. We have calculated if the total number of products is higher than 10. I should calculate similar thing if it is not. Number of products is less than or equal to 10. Again, I should calculate the total price, but before, let's check how much discount we should do. If the customer has the card and buys more than 10 items, 20, otherwise 15. This is the discount amount. Okay. Again, I will calculate the total price. It is very same list price times number of products and discount amount 15. It will be 85 divided by 100. I did it. As you can see, without any problem, this should calculate the discounted price that user should pay. If you have any question, please ask. I would love to answer them. Actually, if I can hear a few questions at this point, it would really happy. It would make me really happy. Okay, we have covered everything about if the customer has the card. If he doesn't, I will do same things with changed amounts. If customer does not have the card, I have to check the number of products, right? Because question says, if customer does not have the card, if customer buys more than 10 items, 15% discount we should apply. If he does not have it, but if user bought more than 10 items, I'm sorry, number of products higher than 10, it is 15%, right? If this is the situation, let's calculate the total price. Total price equals to list price multiplied by number of products, and I should apply 15% discount. 85 divided by 100. After the closing curly bracket, if the number of products is less than 10 or equal to 10, the amount will change. It will be the lowest amount, this discount, as against 10%. Total price this time will be list price equals to list price times number of products times the amount of discount. It is 90 divided by 100. This should work. I cannot see an error. Don't worry about this color. It is saying instead of this number, you can write it a little differently. I know, but this way it is easier to understand, I think. Then let's run the code to test. If you want to be a tester, you should test everything. Okay, it is asking number of products. I have bought 15 products. List price is 20 USD. And if please enter one if you have the customer ID. I have, but it didn't print anything because we have at the end I have forgotten to print the price. So total price. Now it will give me something. I have about 10 items. This price is 20, and I have the card. So this price is 0. Interesting. Card info is 1. It will come here. Number of products is 10. Okay. Less than 10 or equal to, and this price should be calculated here. So total price. I couldn't be able to see the problem. 15, 20, 1, 0. It's not calculated the total price, and I will understand what's happening. Oh, I'm sorry, of course. Let's change one of them. For example, this price can be doubled. So let's do the same thing now. I hope it will work right now. 15, 10, 1, again 0. Interesting. Sorry there. Eldel hacking. And this price is 1.5, 1, 0, 0. It is working, but here it cannot calculate the list price. Let me print the perhaps number of products. If you want to see the error, oh, here, of course. Next tablet should be. When I change the data, I should also change this style. I'll try again. 10, 15, 1. Again, it's not working. Salt, list price, salt, cart info. Eleven, 1. Oh, no. Really interesting. Sorry for the problem. I will close and run one more time. Sometimes that happens. I will close IntelliJ. I'll open it one more time. Let me run it one more time. At 20, and the list price is 20. I have the customer card 1, but the price is 0. Perhaps it's because of here. Okay, instead of this number, I will use 0.8, 0.85, 0.85, 0.19. Let's check it this time. It should work. There is no problem here. 20, 21. Oh, it's working. That was the problem. Oh, okay. I could be able to see the problem, and I will try to explain what was the problem here. Okay, let me explain what was the problem here. I couldn't be able to understand it at first. When I try to divide 80 by 100, the result is 0.8. I know the result. But when I use these numbers, 80 and 100, the first one is integer, and the second one, when you write a number, they will be accepted as integers. When you do it like this, when I try to divide an integer by another integer, the result will be calculated as an integer. And the result is 0.0,8. And integers cannot store decimal units. And because of this, integer divided by integer, result should be integer, and it will only accept a 0. It will delete the right side of the comma. Because of that, it wasn't working. And I don't know why I couldn't be able to solve it. I couldn't be able to say it first. Let me try to explain how it works. It is very easy to understand when I give a real explaining. I will try to explain how I could be able to calculate this number. Let's say the price is 100 USD. If there was 20% off, it will be 80. When I do the math, as you can see, it will be 80. I'm doing same thing. I could be able to calculate it by this. Or you can write it like this. 100, this is the main money. 20% off means multiplied by 20 and divided by 100. And you will be able to find $20. This is the discount amount. 100 minus 20, it will be 80. 80. Okay. We did it. We could be able to solve the question just because of trying to make it easier. At first, we couldn't be able to solve it, but right now it's working perfectly fine. If you have any question, please ask me. Do you have any question? You can write it from YouTube channel, chat channel, or Zoom channel, or you can use Slack channel too. And I checked all of them. I couldn't be able to see any question there. Please ask something. Creating an interactive atmosphere always helps students and also teacher. Now, okay. We have tried to solve it by using the card at first. You can start checking other things too. If the number of product is higher than 10, we can solve the same thing by prioritizing different conditions. You can use a product number to start, and outer statement can be all about the number of products. Here, I told you that first we will check the customer ID, customer card, then the number of the products. I can change order, but I believe this is the best order we have. I will solve same question, but I will change the order. I will copy this part. It will be exactly the same in the next question. CO4 nested if questions. I'm trying to solve a lot of questions about this topic. This is one of the most important topic Java has. We are going to use it a lot of time, and you will need this to understand next topics. I have done same thing. We have taken the required information from user. I have also created double total price, but this time first we will check customer instead of customer ID. We will check number of the products first. And then we will check the card. So inside of the first if statements, there should be a condition about product number. If it is higher than 10, something will happen. If the number of product is less than 10, something other will happen. If number of products is higher than 10, I will do something. Else if it is not correct, check something else. Number of products is less than 10, do something else. So now I can check, I can add an inner statement. If user has the card, if card info equals to 1, it means user has it. If it does not has it, if he does not have it, if card info is 0, do something else. If the number is higher than 10 and if user has the card, what was the discount? You know, if the customer has the card and more than 10 items, it is 20% off. It doesn't matter. You can you can solve it either ways. The result will be the same. Card number of products is higher than 10 and user has the card, and this means 20%. Total price will be equal to list price times number of products times the amount of the discount. It will be 0.8, 20% off. If he buys more than 10, but if he does not have the card, let's check it. Customer has the card and more than 10 items, 20% off, otherwise 15. If the customer does not have it, and this is where we want to check, but if he buys more than 10 products, right now I have to do this. This is the statement I am looking for. Customer does not have the card, but still he has bought more than 10 products. As you can see, more than 10 products, but no card. It is 20%, 15% off. Total price equals to, I can copy this from here this time, not to lose time, but the discount amount is this much. Now the second main condition, number of items user bought is if it is less than 10 or equals to 10, I will do something else. If again I need to check if the user has the card. Card info equals to 1. If he has it, but the number of product is less than 10, I will first let's check it from him. User has the card, but the number of items is less than 10. Customer has the card, but it did not buy 10 items, so it means 15%. It is exactly like this, because 15% off is calculated like this. If he does not have the card, else if it is not correct, if the card info equals to 0, the price will be calculated like this, 19. Because it's mentioned here. If customer has the card, he does not, and more than 10, no. If the customer does not have the card, this is the one I'm looking for. And if he buys more than 10 products, no, he didn't. It means I should use 10% off. Okay. And then at the end, let's print the total price. We did it. It took less time because I will already solved it once. I did not spend time to explain other things. And we have also copied the first part. Let's do the calculation. Please enter number of products you appreciate. Okay, I have well, 20 of them. The list price of each one is 10. Now let me write them here. One of them is 10 USD, and I bought 20 items, 20, and one of them is 10 USD, and I have the card. It says 116 USD. Yes, the total price is 200 USD, and I have to do 20% off discount. When you calculate it, you will find 160 USD. This is the total amount I should pay if I am the customer, of course. Let's try to do all the options. As if you want to be a tester, you have to test all the conditions. Don't forget. Now let's check this one. Customer won't have a card, but the number of products will be higher than 10. Number of products 20. The list price is 10, but I don't have the card. It was 160, but because I do not have the card, it is a little higher than previous one. It's working. What about this one? Number of products should be less than 10, but still I should have the card info. I should have the card. It should be less than 10. Okay, I have only bought one of them. Price is 100 or 200. And I have the card. It is same amount as you can see if I enter the numbers. I bought one item this time. It is 200. But the price, the discount amount did not change, so the result was same. I will do same amounts, but this time I will not have customer. This is the first time for me visiting that shop. I have one of them. The list price is 200, and I don't have the card. Yes, I don't have it. Oh. It did work, but not as I expected. But still it did. As you can see, this is 10% off. So do you have any question for me? I would love to answer those questions if you have. Let me check chat channel, YouTube chat channel, Zoom channel, and Skype. Okay. I think I have covered everything, or you don't want to ask any question, or you know everything. So, okay, let's have our 10 minutes break time, and after that, we can continue to solve other questions. It's a little early, but it's okay. See you after 10 minutes. Yes, let's continue. Where were we? We were trying to solve a few questions. I want to solve, I'm sorry. I will solve another easy question. I'm not saying these were easy, but this one will be. 5 nested if questions. Now let's create main method and the rest. We will create a machine code, and it will follow our instructions. Let's say dresses, t-shirts, and pants are coming from here. This is a t-shirt, with my great drawing. I think we can do it. This is a pink one, and there's also green t-shirt coming from the machine to the recognizer, and the shirt, and let's draw a few pants. Pink pant. I'm having fun here. Okay. And this is a pink pant, and we will also have green one. We can understand from my drawings, right? It's very clear to understand. And we have the machine. It is here, checking the all of them. And it has 4 boxes. All of them has a name. According to the color, and I'm sorry. According to the color or shirt or pant, it will do something else. Pants, let me delete it and use a different color. Pink pants will be here. Box name is 1. If it is a green pant, it will go to the second box. Pink t-shirt, third one. Green t-shirt, fourth one. This is the machine, and according to this data, it will change the box. If it's a pink t-shirt, it will go to the pink t-shirt where it is. Here it is. Third one, the machine will put it to this box. If it's a green t-shirt, it will go to the fourth one. If it's a green pant will go to the second box. If it's a pink pant, it will go to the first one. So let's write a code for this one. We have color and the model, 2 different things. Color and model. Model, by model I mean t-shirt or pant. First, you need to decide which one should be checked first. If it is color, you will write if color equals to pink, if color equals to green. And as the inner code, you will write if model is t-shirt, it will go to the pink t-shirt, goes to 3. If it is pant, pink pant goes to pink pant goes to 1. And here I will do the same thing. If it is color is green, if it is a t-shirt, green t-shirt goes to 4, green pant goes to second box. This is a good code for this machine. If you have a few sensors, it will be enough for you to create this kind of method. If we could be able to understand the question, let's write it. Color for dresses. Color and model. According to first color, then model. We will check that. If first we will check the color, right? We have pink and green. But before that, of course, I should take the values from user. Or let's create string, or I can create string. String color is green and string color is green and string model is pant. This is the data. We can take it them from user if you want, but it's not necessary. And this is the data machine catch. This is the product. It is checking. According to this value, it should put it to somewhere. And I will check it from here. Let me see. Green and pant. Green pant goes to the 2. Okay. Goes to this second box. Green pant goes to the second box. Let's do that. First, we decide to do the color. If color equals to, if you are talking about the string data type, you cannot use equal symbol. Instead, you have to use equals. Don't forget that. If you are checking string data type, instead of equal symbols, you should use it. You should use equals method. If it is equals to green, we will do something. Why am I complaining? Okay, don't worry about it. We will do something. Else, if it is equals to pink, color equals to pink, we will do something else. These are the main conditions, just like we have planned to do. First, we have created the color if statements. Now, inside of them, I should create another if statement according to model. If it's a pant, it will select another box. If it is pink, if it is t-shirt, it will use another one. Let's do that. If model equals pant, if it's equal to pant, if it is green and pant, let's check the model that we had. Green pants goes to the first box. Start goes to green pant goes to first box. Box number 1. Box 1. If it is a t-shirt, else if model equals to t-shirt, it will go to the green t-shirt. Let's check. Green t-shirt goes to 4th one. Green t-shirt goes to box 4. We have covered the color and model. If it is a pant, it will go to the box 1. If it's a t-shirt, green t-shirt, it will go to the box 4. Same thing here. I will write same thing. Let's copy it from here. If the model is pant, it will go to the different box. This time color is pink, but the model is pant. Pink. Oh, sorry, this should be 2. Green pant goes to the second, as you can see. Green t-shirt goes to the 4th, it's correct. Now the color is pink. Pink pant goes to the first one, okay. Pink t-shirt goes to the 3rd one. It's a good model. Machine will act according to this data type. Let's run it. As you can see, when you enter green pant, it went to the second box. If I use pink pant, if the color is pink and pant, let's run it. Red, oh, green. Green part goes to the box 1. Yes, it's correct. Well, let's check the model. We have entered the pink pant. Oh, the color is wrong. Sorry. Let's check the 2. This is pink. This is also pink. Oh, sorry. I was a good player, so I made it wrong. Right now it's perfect. Green pant, green shirt. Pink pant goes to pink pant goes to number 1. If I change the values, let's use green t-shirt. Green t-shirt. Green t-shirt should go to the green t-shirt. Where is the green t-shirt? Here, 4. Green t-shirt goes to for box 4. It's working, right? Let's check this one. Green pant. I'm changing the entering value. Sensors checks color and model. Green pant goes to the second box. As you can see, it's working. Our machine, the program we have installed to this machine works, and according to these values, it can put the things to different boxes. So let me check YouTube channel for any question. No, we don't have anything there. Check channel. Nothing. Slack, no. Okay. Let's continue with the next question. Let me take a question. I have tried to cover a lot of different topics. Let's check the questions from here. Here, get a number from user. If the number is odd, print it out as it is a negative or positive odd number. If the number is an even number, print whatever it is multiplied of 10. Let's solve the question 3. It's a good question. I think when we solve it, we can understand a lot of things from it. Great. If I can find the question, I will copy it. I think it should be somewhere here. No, not that. Nested statements. Oh, yes, this is the one. I will directly solve it here. CO6 nested if questions. The main method and the question. It's a long one. Let's make it understandable. Okay, get a number from user. That's easy. We will use scanner. If the number is odd, if it cannot be divided by 2, print it if it is a negative or positive number. We will check if it is lower than 0 or greater than or higher than 0. That's the second condition. If it is an even number, if it can be divided by 0, we will print if it is a multiply of 10. Before everything else, we should create the logic. It is very clear that we should check if it is odd or even number. This is the first step. Odd or even. According to the numbers, if it is an odd number, I will do something else, negative or positive. These are the inner states. If it's an even number, there's no second step. I will just check if it is multiply of 10. If it is a multiply of 10, we will write something. If it is not, we will write something else. So I can say we can create two ways from this even 2. This is the statement. This is the logic. First, we will check if it is even or odd number. If it is odd number, we will do something else. If it is even number, we will do something else. First, let's focus on the first steps. Let's check if it is an odd or even number. How do we do that? If the number can be divided by 2, modulus 2, if the modulus 2 equals to 0, it means even number. If it is not, it means it's an odd number. Okay. In the first state, we need to take number from user. Scanner, scan, new scanner system.in. So let's inform user. Please enter a number. And the number will be stored as integer. Number equals to scan.nextInt. We have the number. Let's create the first statements. If number modulus 2 equals to 0, even number. If number modulus 2 equals to 0, it means it's an even number. If it is like this, I should check if it can be divided by 10. If should be multiply of 10 means that. We should be able to divide by 10. If, as before writing the inner statements, let's complete the outside. If it cannot be divided by 0, it means there's only 2 options here. I can use else, or let's use else if to understand the next one. If the number, when we divide it by 2, if the number is not equal to 0, it means it's an odd number. These are the main steps. I have completed this part. Now, let's start with the even one. If it can be divided by 10, if number modulus 10 equals to 0, it means if the remainder is 0, it means it can be divided by 10. Let's write it. So even number, this even number can be divided by 10. If it cannot, I can write else. It can be or it cannot be. That's the thing. Else, so this even number cannot be divided by 10. I have completed this side of the equation. The left side, if it is an odd number, what was the conditions? Let me check it. Negative or positive, okay. If it is smaller than 0, it means it's a negative number. If the number is smaller than 0, it means it's a negative number. So this odd number is negative. Else, if it is not smaller than 0, it means it's a positive number. So this odd number is positive. You know, I think if I remember correctly, 0 is also a positive number. So I can write it like this. That's all. I have completed another question. Let's check if it is working. Always run your code at least once. I should check all of the conditions. Now I will enter a number. It will be even number and it should be divided by 10. I will enter 100. This even number can be divided by 10. Okay, it's even and can be divided by 10. I will enter 98. Yes, it's an even number, but it cannot be divided by 10. This even number cannot be divided by 10. It's working. Let's test odd side. I will enter a positive odd number. A second. When I press enter, it says this odd number is positive. Let's use a minus number, minus 99, for example. This odd number is negative. I have tested all of the options here, and it's working perfectly fine. Let's try to solve another question from the slide. We did it. We also did this one. Okay, we'll solve this one. Ask user to enter name of the day. If entered day is a weekday, print the number of the days left for the weekend break. If it is working time, vacation in days. Oh, working time, vacation days. If the entered day is a weekend day, time to rest. Oh, it will be like this, I think. We will say Friday, and it will say vacation in one day. If it is Thursday, it will say no, it's working time, vacation in 2 days. If it is weekend time, we will print time to rest. It's easy, but I couldn't be able to think where to use nested if questions. Let's don't worry about this one. It is very easy. I do not need to solve it. I couldn't be able to think a way to solve it with if else nested if else statements. There is a way to solve it by it, but you can solve it yourself. It's an easy one. So before continuing to the next question, let's try to understand this leap year interview question. You know, this kind of question won't find you in real life. In old times, they were asking this kind of questions in interviews, but nowadays they do not, because everybody was memorizing that kind of questions, and it's not a good way to be a tester or developer. So let's try to understand what the leap year is. I will try to explain how to solve it. There are a few conditions we do not know about the leap year. Yes, you know, once in a 4 years, every 4 years, we have another day in February. The ending day is 29. Normally it is 28, but once for per 4 years, we got a plus day. It's called leap year. You know, every year actually, this is the sun and this is the world. Complaining it's Thor. It takes 365 days plus 6 hours. So in 4 years, there's 64 hours becomes 24 hours, and it equals to a day. Because of that, each 4 year we will have another day. But actually, we have always we are always having same time in a year. But to mix it, they did it like this. To fix it, they did it like this. So how can we understand? You know, in every 4 years, we will have that leap year. And so if the year cannot be divided by 4, it means it's not a leap year. Once a 4 year, we will have that year. And if it cannot be divided by 4, it is sure that it's not a leap year. Years that are divisible by 4 but not 100 are not leap years. If you can divide it by 4, but somehow if you cannot divide by 100, it means it's not a leap year. There are 2 conditions here. If it can be divided by 4, and normally it should be a leap year, but if you cannot divide it by 100, it won't be a leap year. I don't know the logic. I cannot explain why it is like this. What's the situation? 40, when was the year was 40, it can be divided by 4, but not by 100. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure. The rule for years that are multiple of 4 but divisible by 100, only years that are multiple of 400 are leap year. Interesting. Here, a user will enter a year, 1994. First we should check that if it can be divided by 4. Can it be divided by 4? No, it cannot. If I make it like this, if it was 6, 1996, it means it can be divided by 4. When you check it from your mind, of course, you should check the last 2 digits, 96. If it can be divided by 4, the number can be divided by 4. 1994. It can be divided by 4. Yes. So we are going to this part. Now it should be divided by 2. the year equals to 0. When we do that, no, actually. Oh, it is no. So it is a leap year. Okay, it can be. This can be a leap year. And if it is yes, it says it shouldn't be. You can divide by 400. No, it's not a leap year. Yes, it's a leap year. Interesting calculation. I think it's because of the, as I told you, every year is 365 days plus 6 hours, but it is not exactly 6 hours. It is very close to 6 hours, and to fix that amount of error, they made it like this. When you can see this kind of drawing, it's very easy to write it. Let's check this code. When you see this kind of drawing, schablon, whatever you say, blueprint, it makes it really easy to write it. I will write this code, and you will see how easy it is. And let's write interview question. See, source 6 interview question. And I will copy it from the slide. Of course, just like always, I'm having hard time when I'm trying to find the question. But first, let's create the main method. Then I write the question here. These are the rules. First one, ask user to enter a year. This one is easy. Scanner, scan, new scanner system .in. Perfect. So please enter the year. Then let's start. Integer year scan.next. So it will save it. And then now first condition comes. If the year is not divisible by 4, if it is not divisible by 4, it won't be a leap year. If the year modulus 4, that's not the modulus, 4 equals to 0. If it is equals to 0, it means it can be divided by 4. Yes, if it is 0, it can be divided by 4. If it cannot, else, so not a leap year. I have followed this code blueprint. I have checked if it can be divided by 4. If it is yes, we will do something else. But if it is no, else, if it is not correct, it's not a leap year. We have printed it like this. If it's a leap year, we will do something else, something. But if it is not a leap year, it will directly, if it cannot be divided by 4, it will directly print the not a leap year. Let's do that. I will enter a number and directly it will show. I will enter 1995. It cannot divide by 4 and direct it says not a leap year. If it is true, if it is yes, we will check something else. If it can be divided by 0, by 100, sorry. If it cannot, if it can be divided by 0, if it is no, we will say it's a leap year. Let's check it. If it can be divided by 0, 100. I'm sorry, I'm saying all this. I'm doing the same mistake. If year can be divided by 100, if when we do that, if equals to 0, we will do something. If it is not, else it's a leap year. As you can see, if it can be divided by 0, if it is yes, we have to check something. If it is true, we have to check something. If it cannot, we can directly write it's a leap year. If it's a yes, if it is true, we have to check something else. If it is true, we will do something here. But if it is not, if it is false, this code will be executed. Let's write, if it is true, what will happen? If it is true, we have to check if it can be divided by 400. Another inner nested if the year can be divided by 400, if it can be divided by 400, let's check the diagram. If yes, we will write leap year. If it is true, so it is year. If it is not a leap year. As you can see, let's check Google. I will use Google. I will write 1000, for example, is leap year. It says it will be a leap year. Let's check. $4,000. Oh, it find it. It's a leap year, it says. 200. I'm just entering the random number. Oh, it's a long one. It didn't work. Let's make it short. Next leap year. Oh, no, it's not a leap year, as you can see. 64. Last leap year before. Oh, it is. It seems like it is a leap year. Oh, I could be able to find another leap year here. Interesting. Working. Another random, a little shorter. I'm sure this is not a leap year. Not a leap year. If I change it like this, it wasn't. Okay, let's check. Not a leap year. It's working perfectly fine. It's a shortcut when we can see this blueprint. It makes everything easier. If you cannot solve a question, try to drawing a blueprint like this, and it will greatly help you during the process. If you have any question, you can ask, of course, from YouTube channel, Zoom channel, or Slack channel, or wherever you are, just write it. I will try to answer it. If you want to solve it one more time, I can solve it one more time. I will try to explain it better. I will wait for a few seconds for your questions. No question. Okay. Believe me, if you can enter a few questions, write a few questions, it will make me happy. So let's review tomorrow's topics. ternary operators, it is very similar thing with the if-else statements. We are not going to use it a lot of times in the future, but you may see it when you are reviewing some other person's code, so you should know, or you may face it when you are checking something. And sometimes writing ternary is better than writing out of if-else statements. But before that, of course, we should understand how it works. It is a very simple code, and it works just like if-else statement. Let me. If x is higher than 6, do that. If it is not, do something else. It works just like if statements, if-else statements. And it is very simple form, but sometimes it is a little hard to understand or see the how it works. This is the condition. If a is higher than 0, do this. If condition is true, this code will be executed. If it is false, I mean else, do that. This will be executed. If I enter 10 here, for example, 10 is higher than 0, it means I will multiply it by 2. It will be 20. If I enter -2, it is false. -2 is not higher than 0, so else code will be executed. It will add 10 to it, it will become 8. Ternary is just like this one. The code is a little different. Don't see this part. This is the condition. Is same thing as you can see. If it is true, question means check if it is true. If it is true, this code will be executed. If it is false, this will be executed. True, false. This is the condition. If it is higher than 0, do that. If it is lower than 0, if it is false, add 10 to it. Just like this one. If you could be able to understand this if-else statement, it is exactly the same thing. When I enter 10, it will check. 10 is higher than 0. Okay, true. Because of that, it will multiply it by 2. It will be 20. If I enter -2, it will check. If -2 is higher than 0, it is not, so it will false. It will be false. It will add 10 to it. It will be plus positive 8. But you know, when you use ternary, you should also use equality symbol to make the assignment to something, or you can directly print it. But don't forget that usually ternaries cannot use all alone like this. But if you could be able to understand what I have told you, tomorrow we will have an easy lesson. This is the Boolean condition. If it is true, this code will be executed. If it is false, this one will be executed. Exactly like if-else statements. If you write it like this, all along in the coding, yes, the system will find the results. And for example, if it is 10, it is positive, and this code will be executed, and it will be 20. But it will be waiting on the air, hovering around us. You should do something with it. You can print it directly, the result, or you can make the assignment. But you have to do something with it. Otherwise, Java will get angry with us, as you can see, because of red lines. Red line. If you print it inside of the printing code like this, complaining will pass. Java won't complain anymore. Or you can make the assignment. So the result will be assigned to A. If it is 20, from now on, A will be 20. You can write different, normally you can use text values in ternaries too. If A is higher than 0, it will print enter number is positive. If it is lower than 0, it will be false. So after this symbol, this code will be executed and it will add to it. As you can see, in ternaries, you can use different data types at the same time. But of course, because of this, it has a catch, a backfire. You know, if you use different data types in a ternary, when you try to assign it like this, Java will complain because if A is lower than 0, it will return as a text value. But integer, A is an integer data type. An integer data type, an integer box cannot store text value. Because of that, Java will complain. It will say, hey, you are trying to assign this value to integer value variable. It is not possible. But if all of them are numbers like this, without any problem, you can make the assignment. And tomorrow, after reviewing what we have learned today, we will try to solve those questions. And you will see ternary is a simple topic, but it can be a lot complicated, and it will be really hard to understand. But you know, you should use, if you want to use ternaries, you should use it for this kind of easy things. Don't use it for complicated stuff. Thank you very much for today, and good night. I hope to see you tomorrow. We will continue tomorrow.